But the
I
symbol
feel
they're using.
symbol on the Proud Boys jackets, I think is extremely
Said it right here. It's right here.
I'm looking right at it, yeah. And I'm horrified, frankly.
Yeah, you're horrified. I think you're one of the only few that's horrified by it.
It has a body hanging. So the police asked me to just take this down to the courthouse steps, that we're not to be in the bell tower. Well, because I didn't get a permit. This was done in 24 hours, and I felt it was important to have an immediate response to that image that went out there. And frankly, I wanted to have our response be at the same location, kind of reclaiming the space. It's a response to the Proud Boys co-opting our beautiful the Toys for Tots event. So we had the Toys for Tots event on Saturday. Proud Boys came, donated a lot of toys, and then took the opportunity to have a photo where they flashed the white power hand gesture in a group with the Santa Claus, and it went out all over social media. News agencies picked it up, and I felt it was really important for us to have a response image to go out so that people don't believe that this is who Placerville is.
They're all right. They have very strong conservative beliefs, but even in their tenets, even in their I think they got 12 core values or tenets. It says anti-racism, and the information that we saw through photographs and videos, they have black members. So that was part of my question and misunderstanding, because people are labeling them as a racist organization. Well, usually racist organizations in the 25 years I've been in law enforcement don't include people other than white people in their organization. So that was part of the conversation we had, and it was really good. They left me with the opinion that they don't have any racial ideology. It's merely political ideology, and it's you know, you got the far right, you got the far left. That's where they fall.
So you don't think they're a white supremacist organization?
Oh no, nothing that I've seen. To include evidence from the video and pictures from December 5th, there's nothing that would lead us to believe that they're a race-based organization, that their agendas are racial based. It's political ideology, and it's conservative ideology. So.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Have you guys looked into some of the other previous actions that the larger white Proud Boys have done in other cities?
We did some like YouTube stuff, just basically because until that picture popped, I had no idea that there was even a Proud Boy organization in town. Once that happened, of course, we were scrambling then to gather intelligence, contacting our partners in different law enforcement agencies, to include the federal government, and gaining a better understanding. And the violent actions that are usually associated with the Proud Boys are against other political ideology folks, namely Antifa. So when you have two people on both ends of the spectrum meeting at a certain time and location, there's going to be clashes. I mean, that's inevitable sometimes. So I think that violent extremism is for some of the Proud Boy organization is rightfully earned. Because of the clashes that have occurred with other people who have an opposing, very strong political extremist ideology. So,
right. Yeah, I'm curious because a few months back, you weren't chief just yet, but and again, I'm in Sacramento. Sure. I see everything that's going on. I've been out. I guess
there's stuff going on down there quite a bit in this past weekend. But
yeah, I know, which I totally missed.
And I asked these guys about that, and they said, no, we were up here giving toys. We weren't involved in any of that.
Yeah.
So,
there was a moment where the sheriff was concerned, and you guys too, about Antifa coming up.
Sure.
And they boarded up the whole place. They brought in the National Guard into El Dorado Hills.
Correct.
There were spy planes. It's been reported that there were planes in the air.
Yeah.
So I guess the hard thing is these guys show up, but nobody's boarding up you know what I'm saying? Like, if they're at the same level as Antifa, do you feel like the response is enough, or should there be the same amount of concern?
I think during that specific event, I think this whole movement was so new to us in this area that we didn't know how exactly to respond. We were getting a lot of electronic intelligence, and it could have been people trolling us, but stating these things were going to happen. So, of course, sometimes you want to overreact and then pull things back, which that event that you saw and that you referenced was us not knowing how to respond, but we didn't want to be caught so far behind the curve that we couldn't gain momentum to make the town safe again. So what ended up happening that with the boarding up, once we received the intelligence, I personally walked and talked to every business owner on Main Street and told them, this is what we have going on. And that's when I made the decision to shut down Main Street and increase patrols. And of course, thankfully, nothing happened. But since that night, this whole progress has been an education for us. And we have a better system of analyzing intelligence coming in, determining if there's a threat to the community or if the information that we're receiving is factual, and then we respond accordingly. That onset of that was like this very introduction of this whole chapter that we're experiencing right now. So obviously there was a segment of the community that was hurting. They wanted to express that sorrow in a manner that didn't include them coming to Main Street and protesting like you see. So we had an empty lot next to the police department. We said, you guys want to do an art display? What do you want to do? I mean, we talked about it collaboratively. Wasn't our idea, wasn't their idea. It was kind of a collaboration of ideas. So we did. And as I was explaining earlier, our door is open for everybody. We're the police for the community. We're not a police for any ideology or segment. We're apolitical. We're the people that don't choose a side. And in turn, I want to help them. I want to help them understand that if they do decide to have events like these protests, of how to do it safely, how to do it within the confines of the law, because ultimately we want to support everybody's constitutional rights, regardless of what what somebody else may think. It's important for us to just stay neutral. We enforce the law. We don't do it with a heavy hand. A lot of times it's just education because people don't know. Today, a perfect example, they didn't know. I give everybody an opportunity to sit down and talk with me. It's easy to read something or see something online and automatically formulate an opinion or a bias. But give an opportunity for us to prove to you that we truly are a community-based organization that's here for your safety. This is all of our communities. You're not just people. You're my neighbor. We live in this community. We shop in this community. Our kids go to school here. We're all in this together. And it's so easy to get caught up in the social media frenzy. But I caution people, don't just read a headline and think that that's the whole truth. Take an opportunity to sit down and talk with somebody. Talk with me. Talk with any one of my officers. So.
Okay. You guys don't think these guys are a threat to Placerville?
I don't think so. No, not based on it. I sat down with their president and their sergeant in arms for about an hour. Again, we had that back and forth dialogue, just clearing up any kind of confusion or misperceptions that I had basically of them. And come to find out, they just have truly is a political ideology. They're not here to tear up the town. They're not here to cause harm or make people feel uncomfortable. They're not. I don't believe they're white supremacist in nature. I don't believe they're a hate organization. I believe that they are a conservative alt-right organization with very strong political views, much like people on the other side have very strong political views. Their interest is supporting the community. Again, they were apologetic that this backlash kind of came back on the police department. It wasn't their intent. They cleared up the whole OK symbol for me.
And what did they tell you the OK symbol meant?
So they talked about something from 4chan, I guess is some trolling thing that started years back. And during that, that person had made the mention that the OK symbol is now a racist white supremacist, gesture, and it got picked up. It got traction. So they do it just to kind of trigger and troll people on the other side. That they're like, we're not race-based organization. It's almost like getting a chuckle out of doing it. So, yeah.
So do you believe them? Do you think they're being honest? Like, is that enough to say?
No, but based on what I've seen from the videos on December 5th, videos and pictures, we've accumulated a lot of intelligence after that. When something like this occurs in the city, we just, we don't click on a social media site and say, okay, this is everything. We have means to gather a little bit deeper intelligence. That also includes us reaching out to our federal law enforcement partners and talking to them about the potential of escalating violence based on this group. So I'm confident right now as I stand in front of you that that's not what their intent is. It doesn't mean things can't morph in the future, but I'm confident right now that that's not what their intent is.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The only reason why I ask is because there's a lot of community members who are very scared for their safety.
Yeah,
these guys.
Yeah, I don't think they have anything to worry about with these guys. I really don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think we're going to head down because I think they've moved to another location.
Thanks a lot.
Are you good?
We're good.
All right.
Thank you.
That was impromptu.
Yes.
I didn't want the Proud Boys. I didn't want them to come and co-opt this event as well. So I didn't use social media. So it was a lot of phone calls and emails and texts, and I got to as many merchants as I could today and asked them to come out. But we'll see what happens. It's just starting.